As we wrap up 2022, let's walk down Session Road as we look back at some of the biggest stories of the year in Baguio City. From major political events to natural disasters and everything in between, here are the top stories of 2022, not in any particular order. Number 7. COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic continued to dominate the news in 2022. With the rollout of vaccines the year before, new virus variants, namely Omicron and Delta, popped up, which prompted the city to tighten restrictions to level 2 and consequently to level 3. It would take up to March 1st to return to alert level 1. On the economic front, a devastating statistic was disclosed in May as the number of business permits retired or surrendered reached 1,000 since the start of the pandemic in March 2020. April 19 was a significant day as 0 active cases were reported in the city and life became closer to normalization as face masks outdoors became optional on September 12. Number 6. Resumption of Panagbanga Festival. Panagbanga resumed in March after 2 years of being cancelled. Usually held in the first week of February to the first week of March, the watered-down 2022 event opened March 1st without its usual 3 big parades. Limited events were held like dance competitions, landscape exhibits, and Session Road in Bloom. It closed with the traditional fireworks, which was attended by droves of people. Number 5. The presidential and mayoral election of 2022. The 2022 Philippine presidential election, which included the election of the Baguio local government officials, dominated the news during the second quarter of the year. Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. was elected with Baguio City giving him 70% of the local votes to then Vice President Leni Robredo's 20%. Many vloggers conducted non-scientific street surveys that proved to be accurate in the end. Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong also won a second term in a much closer election, while Vice Mayor Oloan and Congressman Marco were also re-elected to their posts. Number 4. The closure of Igorot Stone Kingdom and reopening of the Botanical Garden. A popular new attraction in Baguio City was the Igorot Stone Kingdom. The closure of the facility came as a shock to most people, but was the last straw in getting the privately owned tourist spot to comply with safety and permit requirements. It remains closed to this day as it awaits its day in court. On the positive side of tourist news, the Baguio Botanical Garden was reopened in March 2022 after a year of renovations. Gardeners and workers feverishly improved the site during the pandemic and saw a surge in visitors upon reopening. Not too long after reopening, the city announced an increase in entrance fees to 100 pesos from the current 10 pesos, naming maintenance costs as the driving force. The tourist spot also transformed into a Christmas night attraction for the holidays. Number 3. 7.0 magnitude earthquake hits July 27, 2022. A magnitude 7.0 earthquake rocked several parts of Luzon on July 27 at 8:43 in the morning. The epicenter of the earthquake was pinpointed at Tayum in Abra, Benguet. Baguio City, which is not too far from Abra, felt a 5 magnitude quake which brought back memories of the 1991 devastating Baguio disaster. There were minimal damages to structures reported. Number 2. The suspension of Bureau of Corrections Chief General Bantag. General Bantag was suspended after information arose that he might be connected in the killing of broadcaster Percy Lapid of the show Lapid Fire. Support was shown by some local Baguio residents to the general as he is a member of a well-known Ibaloy clan. They held rallies to voice their opinion and support the Baguio constituent. He remains in Baguio as he awaits to face the charges sometime next year. The top story of 2022 would be the opening of the Baguio-Luwacan Airport. Close to commercial planes since 1996, the historic reopening was marked by the landing of a Cebu to Baguio commercial flight that carried the Cebu mayor and greeted at the tarmac by Mayor Magalong. This was big news as this opens Baguio to tourism possibilities not only from the Visayan region, but also internationally since Cebu is a major international hub. The future looks bright for the city. The city announced with fanfare the resumption of a full-blown panagbinga in its regular February schedule. Good news also came late with the announcement that during this Christmas season, the tourism levels have exceeded pre-pandemic levels. That's big news. Although effects of worldwide events like the Russia-Ukraine war are still having effects in the world economy. Locally, the city has its sights on a major remodel of Carantes Street, Session Road, and the Baguio Public Market. The traffic problem is also in the crosshair of the city government with the implementation next year of the Smart Mobility and Transportation System, which is the same traffic system being used in Singapore. Well, that's it. Those are the biggest stories of Baguio City in 2022. We hope you join us in the new year in continuing our journey to bring to you the best of Baguio City. If you like our content and to keep abreast with the latest news and events, subscribe to our channel, the Baguio Channel. Thank you.